Alright guys, what is going on? It is Oink here, bringing you another seasonal events video, this time on the newest ones, which is the Lightweight K-Cup. Obviously, as it's a K-Cup, you are limited to what cars you can use. The list is here, so it's maximum of 355 performance points, and there's the whole list there. K cars, for those that don't know, are Japanese. It's a Japanese car category, and it basically means like small cars. And so, I mean, they've got a list of them there, but it's not actually a weight category. You can have whatever weight you want, but it has to be one of those cars. And you've got a Rome Circuit, Grand Valley Speedway, Trial Mountain, Tokyo, Route 246, and Tokyo Bay Kart Track Custom. The car that I chose to use is the Daihatsu OFC1 Concept. It's a pretty good car. I mean, they're all fairly average. You know, it does the job. And I'm just going to say it now, this season's event is very easy. No one should have too much trouble with it, but I'm going to go through anyway and show you guys my setup here. Barely upgraded anything, didn't even use the best tyres, used the medium, standard suspension, for sports flywheel, standard transmission. The turbo kits was a bit strange. With none, you obviously had no effect, but for some reason the actual performance points barely changed depending on which turbo kit you used. Now obviously the higher range turbo kit gives you a lot of horsepower boost at higher revs, so that's why it's the generally regarded as the best one, because you want to be at higher revs generally speaking, because that's when you're going fastest. So I don't quite understand that, so I had the highest one. Engine stage 2, I don't quite understand why that was there. I just had that. I think I'd used this car before, and just down-tuned it so that it was 355 performance points. So going into track 1, Rome Circuit. Now all of these, they're not the hardest, I'm not going to lie, and they're not the most exciting. Basically, K cars are like micro cars, basically just in Japan, and the point of them are that they're the size that they are because apparently in Japan they've got like these weird regulations where if your car is smaller than a certain size you get like special parking benefits or something weird like that. I don't quite understand, but basically it's a category of cars that are small, so they're kind of slow and really stable. You know, they're not race cars, so you know, it's pretty, yeah. Anyway, when you go past the first guy, make sure you shunt him just to, you know, make sure he knows who you are. Rome Circuit was pretty easy, came into first place on the second lap, so shouldn't be any problems there. Your second course is Grand Valley Speedway, and it's the short course. I think it's like east or something like that, and this is the reverse of it. Again, very, very easy. Most of these actually is all about just having a smooth line, you know, just trying to keep your speed at really average, so try not to drop too low, or you know, and just try and keep it nice and steady all the way through, just really smooth lines, lots of acceleration and not as much braking, that sort of thing. Again, came through that guy on the first corner of the last lap, I think, so plenty of time ahead. Trial Mountain then, this is, I think, one of the more difficult of the 5, but again, not difficult, just the more of the difficult ones. Again, try and keep your line smooth. I've used all of the driving aids off except from ABS 1, I think, so literally everything turned off, but your ABS on 1, just because you don't want to have to bother manually avoiding brake lockups. Anyway, just slipstream through, like I said, lots of smooth lines. These corners are quite long and sweeping with lots of track to use, so make sure you use it, and try and sort of keep in third gear or above that most of the time, and it should be nice. You can see here, lap 3 out of 3. There was a long time. This guy actually, this is the Cappuccino, one of the better competitors, actually had a bit of a gap, and I overtake him on the last lap on the sort of final chicane there. So I mean, it wasn't like super tight, but it was a little bit, you know, tricky. I had to drive relatively well just to get in there, so that one just make sure you're not fucking about with. Now track number 4, this is Tokyo Route 246. Again, this is basically just a joke. I mean, I think I overtook the guy in first after 1 lap. I mean, what's the point? What ended up happening was I came through the sort of stragglers at the back here. You can see I'm in 8th. I take this guy in the next corner here to move into 7th. And then between here and the guy in 6th position, there was a big gap, and I reached them on the final straight of lap number 1. Then what had happened is the whole group between 7th and 1st had clustered into one little pack there, and I just slipstreamed a lot of them all the way through into 1st position. So you can see there, I just started lap 2 and I take 1st. You just got a whole 2 laps even of just chilling in front. So fairly easy again. So your final track, this is probably the hardest of the lot. It's a really nice course actually. This is the Tokyo Bay track, the karting track, and they have given you fair amount of width with this one, so again, use it. You actually want to make sure you're going really smooth. The first time I did this, I was kind of expecting it to be easy, and I didn't really consider getting my line that nice and smooth. And I actually ended up coming in 2nd on this one, which was a bit embarrassing, but at the same time it is one of the trickier ones of the lot. What you really want to concentrate here is what I've been saying throughout the whole. Make sure you've got really smooth lines. I could try and keep in 3rd gear as a minimum. You should be able to go through the whole thing at a very average sort of 60 to 80 miles per hour speed, and just, like I said, use all of the track and just keep it really nice and smooth and curving and things like that, and you should be fine. I get there 1st place on the last lap there. So the prize for this event is the Suzuki Cappuccino Racing mod. It's a pretty cool car. You can actually use this car in the competition, which I thought about using this one, but I didn't in the end. Anyway, there's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And for those of you who are subscribed, I've got a video you may want to consider. I'm going to give some information on videos and that sort of soon. So I'll catch you guys later.